Scientists have found a new explosion, a new kind of magnetic explosion. Is from reconnecting of the sun's magnetic lines. This has been found by NASA Solar Observatory, and we'll look at the NASA video so that you can understand how they explain it. As we know, all NASA multimedia are Creative Commons. Let's see what they have to say, and then we'll discuss it a little bit more.
In the scorching upper reaches of the sun's atmosphere, the corona, scientists have just seen a new type of magnetic explosion. The explosion, known as forced or controlled magnetic reconnection, is triggered by an eruption on the sun, which causes tangled magnetic field lines to explosively snap and realign, shooting out particles and energy. The discovery may help scientists understand a key mystery about how the corona, the sun's outermost layer, is millions of degrees hotter than layers below it. Previously, scientists had only seen spontaneous reconnection, which is not necessarily linked to an eruption or external forcing on the sun. The forced reconnection event was clearly visible when the scientists used observations from NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory to look at a wavelength of light showing plasma heated to 6 million degrees. The data showed a prominence, a large loop of plasma moving up from the visible surface of the sun, the photosphere. In a series of images taken over an hour, the prominence could be seen falling back into the photosphere. En route, the prominence ran into a snarl of magnetic field lines, causing them to reconnect in a distinct X shape. The data from the event showed that the prominence, which was fairly cool relative to the blistering corona, gained heat from the event. The temperature of the reconnection point was also elevated. This suggests that forced reconnection might be one way the corona is heated locally. The scientists are continuing to look for more forced reconnection events. With more observations, they can begin to understand the mechanics behind the reconnection and how often it might happen.
Now, this is the first time that NASA has noticed this. The scorching upper reaches of the sun's atmosphere, large loops of material spewed by an eruption on the solar surface, called prominence, and then began falling back to the sun's surface. And before the prominence returned, the material was caught in a snarl of magnetic field lines, triggering a magnetic solar explosion. Scientists have spotted such explosions previously, and realignment of tangled magnetic fields of the sun, processes known as magnetic reconnection, but the researchers had never before witnessed one triggered by a nearby eruption. Observations confirm a decade-old theory which could help NASA understand the key mystery about the sun's atmosphere and better predict space weather, and could also lead to breakthroughs in the controlled fusion and lab plasma experiments. Dr. Abhishek Srivastava, who is a solar scientist in Indian Institute of Technology, said this was the first observation of an external driver of magnetic reconnection. This could be very useful for understanding other systems, for example, Earth's and planetary magnetospheres, other magnetized plasma sources, including experiments at laboratory scales where plasma is highly diffuse and very hard to control. This type of magnetic reconnection, called spontaneous reconnection, previously was seen both on the sun and around on our Earth. But this new explosive type of reconnection of the sun has never been directly seen, even though it was first theorized about 15 years ago. Previous observations of spontaneous reconnections needed a region with just the right conditions, having a thin sheet of plasma that only weakly conducts electric current in the order to occur. Now, this newly observed forced reconnection can happen in wider ranges of places, which include plasma with even lower resistance to conducting an electric current. This can only occur, though, if there is some type of eruption to trigger this. Such an eruption squeezes the plasma and magnetic fields together, causing them to reconnect. As the sun's jumble of magnetic field lines are visible, they still affect the material around them, which is ultra-hot charged particles known as plasma. NASA was able to study this using observations from NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory, as we said, and it heated particles up to 3.5 million degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 2 million degrees centigrade. These observations allow NASA to view forced reconnection events for the first time in the solar corona, the sun's upper atmospheric layer. The image is taken over a span of an hour. The prominence in the corona could be seen falling back into the photosphere of the sun. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.